All right. Welcome to Frenemies Podcast number 9. We are guestless today. We had his imaginary friend. I'm pointing at Ryan, but he left early.
All by our lonesome.
Didn't want to be there. We're going to start off the podcast off a listener's request. Sean, take it away.
Yeah, so Tim's wife Lydia has requested that we do this app called Party Queue. It's an icebreaker app, and so we're
some
just
of us
gonna
might need it.
Yeah, we'll do a little icebreaker here, and we kind of just adapted one of the ones they had on there that was, "What's your most embarrassing moment with a girl?" And we're gonna start off with Ryan because I know
Mr. Romantic. I need
could
to
be
hear
several
this.
of them.
Make me laugh.
Okay, so I was in high school. I was a sophomore, and I asked the bombshell of the school, cheerleader. She was like the one everybody wanted to ask out.
I wouldn't expect
to
anything less from
homecoming.
you.
I don't know where this bravery came from, but I did it. I asked her, and she said yes, she would go to homecoming with me, and we went. I was terrified, and there's so much embarrassment to this story.
Just keep it rolling.
Oh man, it's
Cleans-
like processing.
cleanses the soul, the
it's
heart.
like processing my past.
It's like therapy here.
It's all these flashbacks. Like, oh. Now he won't talk to another girl for a year.
Yeah, dude, I'm still single. But we get there, and I was like, "Hey, you want to dance?" You know, probably more like, "Hey, you want to dance?" And so we get to the dance floor. I didn't know how to dance because I was a freaking homeschooler. Gosh. Don't homeschool your kids. Just do them a favor.
We put that plug in there. We're going to lose
Hey, I was
listeners
homeschooled,
there.
and I was just fine.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways, we get to the dance floor, and she's like showing me how to dance because I didn't know. I thought we were going like traditional because that's all I'd ever seen from my homeschool movies. You know, my homeschool dancing class.
Your
Disney
Down
Channel.
Abbey videos.
Yeah. We got information and we started dance, and you know, there's nothing to talk about. It's just so how's it going? And I stepped on her foot like several times.
Oh my god.
The girls started like taking off their shoes halfway in, and there was probably like she probably got her foot stepped on like twice by my like dress shoes. It was horrific.
Wow.
I can't even imagine. And then, you know, halfway through, like my buddy, he comes over and he goes, "Hey, can I dance with your date here?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And I saw it and I was like, "Dang, he's killing it." And they're married now.
You were the key to their marriage.
Matchmaker, Cupid Ryan.
Matchmaker, dude.
You were the stepping
the
stone to Mr. Right.
comparison was too great. He was like, "This guy is amazing."
Ryan, you showed me what I was missing.
They're successfully married. They have a very successful, happy, loving marriage.
Would you like to give a shout out to them?
What's up, Caitlin and Jeff?
They'll listen one day.
I'm sure they listen.
All right, Sean, what's your embarrassing?
So mine
moment
is
with a
definitely
woman?
more embarrassing. No one got match made, but
Nope.
I learned a valuable lesson that
What's that lesson?
don't wear whitey tighties anymore.
Oh,
So
please
I
tell.
was probably about 6 or 7 years old, and my dog ran out the front door, and the initial reaction is just run after the dog. Well, happened to be my whitey tighties, and there happened to be around the corner the girls from high school walking down on their way to school, and they caught me, and they had a little giggle, and I was pretty embarrassed and ran back inside, and that was the
What's that
end
day?
of girls for a
Traumatic.
long time.
Traumatic.
And that day forward, he was a boxer, man, everybody. He's like, "Ma, getting boxers now. Whitey toities no more. Did you pack my lunchbox? Thanks, Mom. You saw my racing stripes. Got to be colored tighties from this day forward." Yes, that's what he yelled at his mother at the age of 7.
Yep, exactly.
Before the school bus picked him up.
All right, Chris.
All right, mine, I was going one direction, but I'll go this way. I took a girl out bowling once in college, and I was a really good bowler growing up. I loved it. I mean, if I don't hit it like a 200 game, I'm really mad. Above 150.
Dang.
Like, I love bowling. Was in bowling leagues growing
Probably
up.
looking forward to impressing her.
So I was looking for impressed and kind of told her I was hitting strikes everywhere. It's going really good, but it was like his first, second date. Well, I go up there and when I go bowl, I'm like focused, right? And I'm still trying to impress this girl. I'm not trying to make you feel like I'm trying too hard, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep going strikes because everyone else is seeing me bowl. Well, as I'm going down to release the ball, I trip. and I slide like a third of the way down the lane. And I tripped hard. Like, my knees were hurting the rest of the night. I got up, trying to act all cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was embarrassing. And I got like a little limp. That was pretty embarrassing.
Did you break 200?
No, I think I got like 160, which is bad. But anywho,
forward on the lane.
I went flying like the
like
little
the ball
cartoon
not
guy.
released, like one of those two small holes that just kind of.
Well, no, it's just my feet in there. It's still kind of released, but then as I was falling, I like lift the ball up. So I was like, don't. I don't know what I did, but my pride hurt as much as the fall did.
Yeah. Well, there was another time that your pride hurt this past week.
Yes.
Let's talk about.
All right.
You got a little something for David here.
I got a Dear John letter or Dear David letter here. So cue breakup music now. Hopefully we do that in editing. All right, I wrote this, so this is going to go straight forward. David, I hope you're listening. Rest of the league, listen up. Dear David, I'm sorry I annoyed you with my friendship. I can't lie, I cried a lot last week. So much so, my wife took my man card away from me. She didn't understand my pain. What we had, you and I, David, I thought was unbreakable. But then you left to dance with someone else. Relatable. Back into my emotions here. I thought you and Phil were just friends. Oh, was I wrong? I stood there with a lukewarm cherry punch in my hand, with my tears rolling down my cheeks, splashing on the court floor, watching you and Phil leave that dance floor together with a huge smile on your face. The type of smile I thought I only put on your face. It was so hard to see you tear out my heart, step on it, and throw it to the curb as you entered the trade vehicle. I saw what I did there with Phil. Could I ever bounce back? Break. You bet I did. It just happened that I would see you again on Sunday on the fantasy football dance floor. And I made sure I humiliated you with Sony Michelle, who you deemed, not worthy enough to trade for. Yeah. How were those dance moves with Carlos Hyde and TJ Yeldon? Not better than Sony Michelle, I can tell you that. Wow. If you would have stayed with me, ... you could have benefited from Michelle boosting your lineup. I was ready to give you Michelle. I was ready to part ways with Sony Michelle just because I wanted to see you succeed. But no. I was shot in the heart, and you're to blame. You give fantasy trades a bad name. Sincerely hating you for life, Chris. And hate breakup note.
Just to add a little credence to that. Michelle had 22.6 points last week. Carlos Hyde and TJ Yeldon combined for 12 points.
In your face. I'm that girl that's gonna be posting like all the little Instagram photos with like his new boy. Like, hey, I didn't know you were still looking at my feed.
So yeah, let's transition here. You could have had your new boy today.
Oh yeah, well, I went back on the flirt train here, fantasy.
So he jumped right back out there, and last week we talked about superlatives here.
Got back in the game quickly.
Yeah,
the biggest flirt. Chris over here. I was the rebound apparently. That he just wanted to string along all day. So we had a trade
on the BFF that got the text.
Yeah, I was all excited.
With my heart.
Yeah.
All right, go with this.
So I offer him this trade. I'm like, here, how about Baldwin and Clement for Cooks? I'll take him off your hands.
Cook, yeah.
Dalvin Cook's been a thorn in your side. You got 3 Minnesota Vikings in your lineup even when he's healthy. So. I'll give you Baldwin. He's on the up, and Clement could turn into a real nice, solid RB2 for you, and he's playing right now. So he said, "I'll think about it." I've heard that before from Chris many times. There's a Todd Gurley trade that I almost made with him. That was that same thing.
Oh yeah,
almost.
Yeah. So all day I just kept texting him.
All day today.
Yeah, I just over and over again, all these different texts.
Swoon him.
Please, look, this is how amazing my players are.
Yeah.
This is how Dalvin Cook is hurt.
It was like 50 text messages.
Yeah. He kept, not saying, it's one of those where you text 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5 until they respond and then that desperation. I thought, and then he gives me the final, we'll know in a minute here. We're close. I'm just consulting my advisor here.
Yeah,
over
my
text.
advisor, my twin
So
brother.
all day
Mike.
I was strung along thinking I was going to get Dalvin Cook, and then Chris did what he always does.
Who is your advisor?
Broke my
Tim?
heart. No, his advisor.
My
was
advisor.
His twin brother. So
Okay.
broke my heart, left me there without Dalvin Cook, and so
And that's
just
when
so you
I
know
got-
now, apparently touched by God is anyone that I want to trade for. So now Dalvin Cook, congratulations, he'll be a running back one for you the rest of the
There
season.
we go. There we
James
go.
White, Todd Gurley. I have countless examples of this.
I prob-
Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I probably
I've got
needed
the
that.
BFF trade texts right here from Sean with
What'd it
a
say?
nice little gif. Trying to trade with Chris is so insanely
Yeah,
painful.
it's frustrating.
I said,
It
LOL. haha." And then he sent a little gif of, a frustrated
Yeah,
cat.
I want to strangle the man. I just have to sit here and like swoon him
Well,
and act like I'm so
He
interested.
said, I want to strangle the man, but I have to be nice because I want his player.
It's true. Well, to completely be honest, like in between those text messages and one word answers is like I'm like doing something else. Let me think about that. Get back and then I was like, oh dang, I got to think about this. And and then I like bounced it off my brother. I'm like, so I was stringing you along because I couldn't get a gut feeling myself. But yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I know better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't trade with Chris. I'm warning you.
Yes.
Or don't pretend like you're going to trade
Don't
with
go in there thinking you're going to get it.
Yeah.
No.
Just
He'll always
pretty tough.
listen. He'll always make you feel special, and then he'll just leave you there.
Try to wine and dine you. But all right, let's go into our next segment.
Our overall thoughts. here.
Overall thoughts on this week of fantasy. Sean, what were your thoughts?
All right. Well, so the trade didn't happen, but
Nope.
my team won. Okay.
Yes.
I'm back in it here, guys. I don't know where this has been all year,
Don't call it a comeback.
but 158 points for my team.
I know.
That's top score of the whole year in our league. Like that's what I've been waiting for. Where you been, team?
That's a Phil-like score.
I'm playing Phil
Julio
this week.
Jones scored.
No, not a touchdown.
No? Okay.
No.
No?
That's my question. Is when?
Will he? Well, you
When-
won without him.
When will apparently doesn't matter. He got 23 points.
Yeah.
Jameis came through for me, but yeah, I'm feeling good about the team. Would have liked to have boosted it with a little Dalvin Cook, but no.
Well, he might have disappointed.
Watch
Maybe
out,
on your
people.
bench the whole
I'm coming
time.
for you. David, Tim, those middle guys, I'm coming for your playoff spot.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Well, let's go. Ryan, what's your overall thoughts?
Yeah, same. Look
look-
out for Sean. I
look
had him
out.
ranked number 1. And if his team,
Still faith in me?
Yeah, if his team kicks into gear, man, you already went from 9th to 7th this week. I think that you still look at your team and it's insane. They've all just been snoozing.
Yeah. Julio.
Kareem Hunt's kept me afloat.
Yeah, he had a big game against New England.
Goodness.
nice.
Looked
Oh my
fantastic too. It
goodness.
wasn't just good stats.
Just receiving. I mean, that was an amazing game on Sunday night
yeah.
Yeah, it
between the
was.
two. So I'm going to talk about something that wasn't there on Sunday night, and that's defense. All right, but we got some double digits scoring
Good choice.
returning back. All right, Minnesota. What defense did you pick?
He almost played the Patriots in the last minute. He put
Oh.
the Cowboys in.
The
Smart
last minute,
choice.
I said to myself, you know what? It's possible Mahomes is actually that good. And
40 points later was a good
Yes.
decision.
yeah,
Well, I mentioned Dallas in here, so those double-digit points. We had the Vikings with 13 points this week. The Ravens with 19. 11 sacks in that one, but still they weren't the highest scoring, which I don't get. Houston 21.
Pick six.
Oh, that's okay. Pick
Peterman.
6 for that one. Yep. Dallas Cowboys with 12. The Jets with 10. Buffalo 16. Seattle 17. And then the Chargers with 10. So we had some double-digit scoring defenses for a couple of weeks. We were hardly seeing any of that. And so some analysts say, on non-fantasy analysts will say the first couple of games of the season, you're starting to see teams are still trying to feel each other out.
Settling
Usually
in,
5
yeah.
and 6, you'll see the true teams start to rise.
that
Because
could
not
be very
everyone
good
plays
for you.
preseason, preseason ball. So you're starting to see better tendencies. Defense is starting to shell up a little more. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts there. All right, what's our next segment here?
All right, so next segment, we thought it would be fun to do like a little game here. We're all just, the best fantasy players in the world, as you can tell down
This
here
guy.
at number 7 and 1 and 2.
Yes.
But anyways, I'll join along their game.
Kind of know
With
what
my
I'm doing.
158 points, I feel qualified to play this week.
Let's
so.
do this. I did not prep for this, so I have no idea. I'm going to look miserable.
So we're gonna do just some predictions here. We're gonna put our fantasy analysis on
Put
the
it
line.
on the line.
Yeah, find out if we're actually worth anything we're saying up here.
Put my
So
heart out there.
we're gonna
Forget the soundboard. You don't need to buy one.
we just have the
This
man
is
right
much
here.
better.
I still want to sound bored.
First prediction here: Carlos Hyde. So he's been a top 20 back all year. Then David gets him, has a down week.
Yep.
But there's some bye weeks this week. So what's your thought? I changed it up a little bit. I said 15, but we all agreed that no, he would not be a top 15.
Oh, yeah.
Top 20. Do we think Carlos Hyde this week makes it into the top 20 running backs? Kind of helping David out here.
I said no because I put some voodoo on that David. So just because of that, voodoo on Carlos Hyde. So I say no to that. Sean?
Yeah, I'm going to say that yes, that he is. I think he's going to just sneak in there. At 15, I would have said no.
Yeah.
But there's just so many good running backs on bye this week. I think he's going to make it in there. Like, I'm thinking 15 to 20, somewhere in there.
Logically, but I'm putting my feelings out there. And it's because he's on David's team. We're like, no. Voodoo on that
All right,
player.
Ryan, what's your prediction here?
Go, Ryan.
Yeah, man. Top 20. My whole thing is.
So you're looking at him scoring over like Adrian Peterson, Tevin Coleman, Philip Lindsay, T.J. Yeldon, Tariq Cohen, LaShawn McCoy. If you think those guys are going to be over him, then probably not going to make the top 20.
I don't trust Carlos Hyde. I wouldn't play him if you paid me to. Well, I would. But.
Do you think it's more of a...
if you paid me, yes, I would do that.
Is it more of a Nick Chubb thing, or is it just Carlos Hyde's falling off?
He's falling off, and Nick Chubb has a lot to do with it, I believe.
Who are the Browns playing this week?
They play... I don't remember who they're playing this week.
Yeah, that's another good thing to look at.
Oh, they're playing the Tampa Bay Bucks, so the worst defense in the NFL.
Yeah, okay. I still put voodoo on that man.
Yeah, no.
Well, my gut says yes.
I think the big issue's been that they're down. They're playing games down. Their defense has not been as dominant as it was to start, and so you're seeing a lot more Duke Johnson. And so if they can run the ball, Hugh Jackson would love to do that, but I don't think they're going to be able to. So I think that this is a week that they might be able to because Tampa Bay is that bad, but.
If I would never advise you to start him.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
All right.
What's your official answer?
He said
no. I'm
he
alone
said
here.
yes.
All right, I can take.
You might be right there.
I'll take
I
that.
think you are.
All right. Sneaky top 10, 15 wide receiver.
Yeah. So this is a wide receiver outside of the rankings. So just kind of the traditional top 15 guys. You can't pick those guys. Take a sneaky pick. Who do you got, Ryan?
John Brown.
Your boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my boy. He's good. I think he had a down week this past week. I think he had only a few points here, but he's great. He'll bounce back.
He's trustworthy. And one of my things is like down week, up week, down week, up week. So if you had a down week, you probably can count on him having a good week this week. So
Yeah.
that's just one of my little things.
What about you, Chris?
I went with Taylor Gabriel, someone we never really think about unless you're picking him up off the waiver wire. But the speedster's catching almost every target. The past 2 weeks, he hasn't dropped the ball. In Chicago's offense, I'm starting to believe in it because it's so creative.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a Jordan Howard fan, it kind of stinks because they're too creative. But they're finding ways to get that speedster like Taylor Gabriel the ball. So I believe he can be a top 15. That's a real dark horse, but I think he could.
Yeah.
You?
I got one for you here. We all chose kind of these boom bust guys, but Josh Gordon.
Yeah, he's on my bench right now, yeah.
I'd put him in the lineup, man.
I'm
I don't know what you got as your flex option there, but
Phillip Lindsay.
He's one of the best flex options I think you can go with. He didn't really come through in the stats last week, but 9 targets, 81% of snaps. That was down from, I think he was around like 30% before that when they first added him. But they've had the bye week, or not the bye week. They've had enough. They had the kind of the mini bye there with the Thursday. But yeah, I think he's really got a chance to be one of the top targets for Brady. And if that's the case, any week you could go off.
And Tom Brady came out and said that he is picking up the playbook faster than anyone thought he could.
Yeah, he had a touchdown there that was a pretty bad pass interference call. He would have probably had a touchdown last week. So,
All right, so we're looking at lockdown defenses, top 5 finish. But we're looking at the free agent ones.
yeah, kind of.
Kind of?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. We're trying to find someone that you could pick up and you think could have that top 5 finish. Kind of what you're going to have to do week to week is find that defense. So
Yeah, so I went with the Chargers. They've got good Derwin James. They're the rookie safety, and they got 2 great edge rushers. So being a West Coast team, sometimes we don't watch them all the time. But when they get Bosa back to full strength, I think they can find themselves cemented as a top 5 defense.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Colts.
Which is
we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but
took me by surprise there.
Yeah, they're not a great defense, but it's the Bills. And guess who's not playing this week? Josh Allen, who's not a great quarterback, but guess who's a worse quarterback? Nathan Peterman.
Yes.
He pretty much throws a pick six every time he's in the game. So that guarantees you a pretty good shot at that top 5 finish. So I'm going with the Colts.
Yeah.
Ryan?
The Dolphins.
Ooh.
If you must.
If you must.
We're ball hawks, and
It's true. I
yeah,
think we have most
it's pretty
interceptions in the
safe.
league.
It's pretty safe.
Okay.
So go with them.
All
We'll
right.
find out who's really...
Who knows their stuff?
Yeah.
We are going to revisit this next week and see. And a little sneak peek. We have a fantasy expert joining us next week, but so we'll see. You look like geniuses or morons right before we get there.
All right, freak out. Got a song for us there,
freak
Chris?
out! All right.
All right, so
Okay.
freak out. Ryan,
Who's
I
your
think
freak
you got
out?
a little something to talk to Tim about here.
Tim James, listen up.
If I owned
Lydia, tell
Jordan
Tim to
Howard,
listen up.
Yeah, if I owned Jordan Howard, I would be freaking out right now.
I would be too.
Let me tell you.
I'd be trading him for nothing, Tim.
I'm just gonna unload.
Yeah, do it.
I'm
Unload.
just gonna unload.
Give it to Tim.
Jordan Howard sucks.
Take
Dude,
that.
Like, he's a downhill runner. Here's the thing. You have to look at running backs like martial artists in a sense. Okay?
Martial artist.
Seriously, if you're not suave, if you can't use technique and get down and do what you got to do without like full-blown strength, then you're just up against every young buck that comes out every single year. Jordan Howard goes one cut and he goes down the field. He sucks. So if he can't get down the field, and if they're not using him,
If he's
also,
fumbling.
Tariq Cohen is a suave guy and he's getting through. Le'Veon Bell, he knows how to avoid the tackle. He knows how to not get hit. He uses technique. He doesn't just go, me name Jordan Howard. Cut, boom.
I mean, Adrian
Jordan-
Peterson made a living
Yeah,
that way.
Jordan Howard is going to be probably out of the league in 2 years.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, that's-
because
oof.
you are never going to be the strongest guy forever. You're going to have your little window and then it's done. So if you're a Jordan Howard owner,
So if you were a Le'Veon Bell owner, you probably wouldn't trade Jordan Howard for Le'Veon Bell.
probably not. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I own
Yeah,
him
I'd
in
be a little
other
freaked
leagues,
out
too.
about Jordan Howard.
I'm
Like I've been
freaking out
on,
in my
I
one
love
league.
him. I've tried to get him all year, and then this week, me and Tim kind of been talking some trades, but I'm kind of shying away. I watched that Dolphins game in its entirety, and it was scary.
Yeah.
He didn't look so good.
And to his credit, if they had actually let him redeem himself, I think that'd be
Yeah.
a good psychological move. But they didn't.
No,
Yeah.
they said Tariq, it's all yours,
Coaching.
and he came through. So,
Yeah.
all right. So my freak out, Carlos Hyde. We talked about this a little bit, but
Listen
yeah,
up, David.
yeah. I think this is the beginning of the end. You're picking up Carlos at a bad time here.
Put some voodoo on that man.
Because not only do you have Chubb biting at the bit, ready to get in there as the rookie, the more games they lose, the more they're going to think about seeing what Chubb's got. And then on top of that, like I said, they're losing games now, and Duke Johnson's getting a lot more play. So
Yeah, and I picked Jarvis Landry.
another Brown.
The Jarvis Landry owners are probably freaking out, man, because
I'm good.
Mayfield, for some reason, is not meshing with one of the most reliable PPR receivers like in history.
Yeah.
Like this guy when he was with Miami and their
Yeah.
quarterback issues, like you think Mayfield would find him. And I own Landry in other leagues, and it's just his projected points are never his realistic points, and not in the good way. You know, sometimes you go a score above it. No, we're single digits here, and yeah, so it's unpredictable right now with this PPR stud that we're used to. So
I
I'm
think that-
freaking out.
I think that Baker is he's gonna be that guy who wants to target down the field as much as he can. So I think that's why Antonio Callaway has been so involved.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that is a good freak out because they're gonna probably phase Landry out of like the premier spot in the offense if they can.
it might
Yeah.
take a whole season. You
Yeah.
might have to
It's-
wait till season 2 there for him to actually get a rapport with Mayfield.
I don't know if Landry's himself, though. I mean, last week he had 9 targets, 2 catches. He usually catches everything his
Yeah.
way. So something's off. I don't know what's going on with Landry.
Okay, all right, new segment here, Sean. You want to lead into this one?
Yeah, so I came up with this one is the new normal. This is kind of a good, barometer test here
Yeah.
in the middle of the season. Let's see. It's hard to tell, we drafted these players and we have this idea in our heads of what they're going to be, and then they're not. Do you hold on to these players, or if you've got, one of the players that's a surprise, is this for real? So we're going to kind of just talk about a few players that we think are, either the real deal or, they were big draft capital, but you know what? This might be the new normal.
Yeah.
So I'll start with Chris here. What do you got?
All right, so I picked 2 guys. One guy's one of mine here, Adam Thielen. I remember when we were keeping putting the keepers in. Everyone's like, "Are you kidding me? Stephon Diggs is going to take things in there." I was like, "All right, will he be there?" But Thielen surprises me. He is a legit PPR monster at wide receiver.
Number one wide receiver on the season.
They said he is on pace to break 2,000 yards receiving if he keeps this up. Now,
Yeah.
will he? Probably not, but he's legit number one now. And even with Diggs healthy, is not taking away targets. And this guy catches everything. And I think he is legit. We thought it was a kind of a sketchy keep. I even was hoping that nothing with Diggs and Cousins stuff would work, but Thielen's legit. My disappointment, we just spoke about him, Jordan Howard. Not fitting into the new offense. Too much of a traditional workhorse, which Ryan spoke about.
Yeah.
And, he's disappointing.
He's not versatile. I think Nagy really wants to have that back he can just do anything with.
He used to be that if you got him as your running back 2 and you were lucky on the turnaround of a draft, you felt great. Like Tim did. He was
could have an RB1. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's like, I got Barkley and Howard there. He's like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have like close to 15 points every week from each back.
Yeah.
But this is not the Jordan Howard we were used to the past few years.
They need to use him if they're going to use him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean, what do you have?
All right, so I have one of my players, Keenan Allen. It's been a little disappointing. If you've had Keenan Allen, I know it's been hard to hang on. It's probably somebody you've thought about trading away at low. I don't think this is what it's going to be. I think that there's some serious upside for him. This is kind of what he did last year. He's wide receiver 25 right now, and I think he's got a real good shot of breaking the top 10.
Cue the redemption music.
So I think a lot of it's just touchdowns. Now, he's not a big touchdown guy, but he's only got 1 through 6 weeks. That's going to change. I mean, those freak touchdowns with Tyrell Williams, I mean, those were just crazy. Took away from what he could have done. He's also, I've noticed, really good at catching the ball and getting down at the 1-yard line. So Melvin Gordon can run into the end zone.
Must have some.
So if he just...
Keenan Allen must have Melvin Gordon on his fantasy team.
Exactly.
He's like, no, you take it.
So I think if you give him 2 more touchdowns, which is pretty realistic through the first 6 weeks, he'd be looking at a top 15 wide receiver. So I think there's a good shot. You just need to hang on or buy low on him. If you got him in a league, the owner's freaking out. I drafted him as my wide receiver 1. I think he's not been that bad, but he's not been what you thought he was going to be. So he's going to bounce back.
I like your second guy here. A lot.
Tyler Boyd. I kind of went for. I didn't do disappointment one. This is more of just the real deal. This is it. David, you have what's probably one of the top wide receiver 2s in the league, I think.
On your bench, which thank you for not starting last week.
So, start Tyler Boyd from now on. I think he's just a skilled player that was, struggled in his rookie year, and he's benefiting from what A.J. Green's pulling all that coverage. And so I think he's the real deal. I say top 15 finish rest of the way. That's what you can depend on with Tyler Boyd. So you got to value him that way. If you want to trade and get him, there might be somebody who's like, this ain't going to last. I'll take him off your hands, man. Tyler Boyd, I think.
He's legit.
You need to actually think of him as that top end.
David, you can start him from now on. Thank you for benching him this week. That was that voodoo on.
All right, Ryan, you got one or two for us here?
Yeah, I got Jimmy Graham, man. I think him working out has been awesome because I took a risk drafting him high, and the
touchdowns are there. That's what I thought would be.
He's a tight end 1.
Yeah.
So
if they wouldn't, if the touchdowns didn't come, but
he's
with Aaron
getting
Rodgers,
yards now though too.
Yeah.
So he's getting 60 to 100 yards. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So he's actually somehow worked past his injuries or whatever the heck it is. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is just that good.
He's that good.
Yeah.
He is that good.
So.
But he's consistently looks like he had 5 receptions, 6 receptions. So he's
starting to work inside offense. You got
no touchdown last week with 12 points. So.
Yeah, you got to earn Aaron Rodgers' trust when he goes there. Like, he doesn't like young receivers because he's like, you can't trust.
I was wrong. I did not think Jimmy Graham would be worth that. I don't know if he's still worth that 3rd-round pick, but still, it's definitely not hurt you. Like, you've got a top 3 tight end, and that's kind of worth that 3rd-round pick. So.
All right, we're going to our Spitfire session, our waiver wires. Who we think are streaming, up, down, pay up, sit, start, all that stuff. Sean, quarterback streamer, who you got?
So I know it's really gross.
Extremely.
You might not feel good when you do this, but Joe Flacco this
magic is still here.
Joe Flacco this week's a great start. I mean, he's playing the Saints, and they're going to put up a lot of points, and he's going to have to keep up.
Yep.
He's not been bad this year, and I think you can start him if you really need something. He's probably going to finish in the top 10.
Okay, yeah. I got Trubisky. I think he's a stash type guy, depending on matchups, but that offense is so creative. Usually his touchdown passes come in the scripted portions, the first 10 coming out of the game, first 15 out of the half. But I think he's starting to fill it in a little bit as a quarterback for a streamer there. So worth the stash if you're really struggling. Ryan, who you have?
Phillip Rivers. He's solid. That offense keeps rolling. He'll be a really safe quarterback for you if you need one.
Yeah.
All right, so running backs, Sean.
All right, Marlon Mack. This is a guy I liked a lot, and then he got hurt, and he's just been hurt. But it seems like the Colts have liked him a lot, too, because he came back in, had a pretty good first week, and I think that's only going to go up.
He's got a cool name, too.
Marlon Mack.
Not bad, right?
Mack Attack.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack.
So I think that he's probably going to be... He would be probably my number one option this week if you need somebody to start. So pick him up. He's going to be worth it for the upcoming. I think a lot of the concern with him is that his snap count was still less than Nyheim Hines. They were down in that game.
Heinies.
And so I think if they're not losing by a lot, he'll be in more. Not to mention he was coming off that injury, so there's potential for him to increase that workload.
Yep.
So Chris, I
like that.
How can you have this in here?
Frank Gore. Ole Miss still gets touches.
I know. I watched
All right,
it last week.
He still get his own.
He still got it.
That's all I gotta say. Like, he won't get you receptions, but if you need a guy that you can trust, to at least get touches that could break out. What did he get? 100 yards last week?
Yeah, over 100.
Yeah. So Frank Gore still get touches.
Didn't give it to him on the goal line.
Ryan, what do you got?
Ito Smith.
Ito.
Freeman's on IR.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, pick him up. He's probably a good option there.
Yeah.
He'll be in that timeshare for Coleman now.
One of my other leagues, guy asked for Freeman, so I was doubtful. It was like this morning, and I'm the commissioner of that league, so I was like, yeah, I'll take that trade, go flip that over. I can't
Oh, you
remember
do
what I got
trade in
back.
other leagues.
In other leagues. And then I pushed it, because you can finalize the trade, and like literally 2 hours after I finalized, it comes
Who'd you
out.
get?
I can't remember. It was like...
Doesn't matter. It was better than
Yeah, it was way better than that. And I just wanted one thing about Ito Smith. It's like Ito is like they forgot the rest of his first name. Anyways.
So, all right, wide receiver. Who you got, Chris?
I got Christian Kirk. Arizona uses him as their wide receiver 2. Larry Fitzgerald's still in the slot, so outside they move Kirk around. He's a gadget player, but they find a way to get him the ball. 2 weeks ago, he had a 75-yard touchdown to open up the game. And even against Minnesota, he started off the game well. He gets return yards there, so they love using him. They see his speed. He's got pretty good hands. So if you're looking to pick him up, I think he's definitely worth it because he's just a big play waiting to happen. Kind of reminds me of Will Fuller early days.
Yeah. Another.
My turn.
Go ahead. You're excited about this.
No, I just think it's so funny how much you know. I'm like, Cole Beasley, he catches the football a lot. Your turn.
He had a good week last week.
Good week last week. Good for PPR. Your turn.
All right. A little more analysis involved with this one. Jermaine Kearse, Quincy Enunwa is probably going to be out for a while. Mm-hmm. And Darnold's getting better every week. So I think that Jermaine Kearse is going to be, this is one I would spend up on, actually. Jermaine Kearse is going to have a good role in that offense. He's probably got a shot at the wide receiver 1. Robbie Anderson's still there, but he's not really the possession receiver.
Yeah.
So if you need somebody to rely on as a potential wide receiver 2, solid flex option, Jermaine Kearse, go out there and spend some money on him.
Yeah, I believe he is worth the money there over the other
Super
two guys.
cool name. As a matter of fact, out of all the names we've covered, that might be my
Flacco,
favorite.
Kearse, and Mack.
Son of a gun,
He
Sean.
was all
Winning this
names.
right now.
Cole Beasley.
You
You want to go homecoming with me?
And Ito.
All right, tight ends. I'll just start this off. I had none. I did. I was like, I don't know who to pick up on that one, but who did you have, Sean?
I had O.J. Howard. This is a great pick, not just for now, but for the future. He's probably... It's crazy. I don't know how he came back. Maybe we could talk to Tim about that.
Yeah.
Either lying about something on there, but there's no way he could come back from that MCL sprain that quickly. But
And he's in a 2 tight end set, but he still gets his own.
yeah, but I think
Cameron Braid.
only had like 2 targets, so
Yeah.
I think they really want to start putting Howard as that guy that they depend on in the tight end position. So I wouldn't be afraid to go out and get Howard, and a lot of people are desperate for tight ends, so
Yeah.
go get him. Ryan, this is a guy that you've had.
Yeah, James McDonald. I mean,
Stephon McDonald.
I fell in love when he stiff armed the dude to the ground, and I think that guy's on IR now.
Yeah.
His heart is.
His heart is, yeah. So, anyways.
All right, defense streamers here. Sean, I started off with the Chargers. I think it's worth the money this week. You're going against the Tennessee Titans, who allowed 11 sacks to the Baltimore Ravens. I think if you're looking for that defense to get you over the hump, hopefully double digits, I think I'm about to say San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers can get you that. Side note, do you ever notice where they play that Home Depot soccer field, more than half the stands is always filled with the visitors?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's more visitors
it's
than
crazy.
home fans. Like, don't move from
They
San
got better
Diego.
things to do.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, who'd you pick?
All right, so I like the Chargers a lot, but the Colts. I know it's gross. Again, I have a lot of gross picks.
Gross.
The Colts. The Colts have been terrible, but they're playing Nathan Peterman. May I remind you, the man who had 6 picks in one half.
I
And
think
he had a pick 6 in just the 5 minutes he played last week.
if we have a social media presence, which I know Ryan wanted, we should hurry up and coin what I called the Peterman effect. All right? Like, we can literally do that, and that's a Peterman effect for all defenses. That's what you watch.
If he's starting, you start the defense against that man because he's a turnover machine. There's no way they can hurt you if he's going to have that many turnovers. Maybe he surprises us and is all of a sudden good, but I'm going to say he's still Peterman.
Yeah, Ryan, who'd you got?
Broncos at Arizona.
Arizona's 1-5.
Yeah,
Yep.
Arizona last week against the Vikings defense, they did not convert a single third down.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
when they
for
got
a
there,
defense.
it was like 0 for 11 on third down conversions.
Yep.
So they had somebody to go against. All right, let's go to game of the week that we saw in week 6. Sean, talk about this brother kind of somewhat pseudo.
Yeah, so it's not really a game that we have, but with David's new system now, we're all against each other because we're trying to get that top 5 finish.
Conspiracy, David.
And so David was,
3 weeks in a row.
I think he was probably close to 30 points down from his spot. They were
Yeah.
getting into that 5th spot.
I was whooping his tail.
Fell 2 points short, and he opened up in the
crazy.
chat, was pretty upset about it, but yeah,
One
that's
catch.
that's how close
Yeah.
it came.
One more catch with Devontae.
I'm sure he's going over that whole entire roster looking for Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Anybody
Tyler
he could have
Boyd.
put in to boost that extra 2 points.
Voodoo on that man. He couldn't even think straight for that lineup. Yeah.
So Ryan's our romantic man, but the pickup lines always seem to come from the man to my right,
Yes.
Chris Schoenrock. What do you got for us for
Chris
a pickup line
Magic
this
here.
week?
All right, here we go. I got this one. I think it worked really well when I was in Bible college. Just like, hey, babe, are you religious? And she was like, what? I was like, because you're the answer to all my prayers. Boom.
So the pickup line is the pickup of the week.
Ooh, and you
I'm
had
gonna
a good one.
Toot myself
Yes.
here. Last minute, I picked up Latavius Murray, put in my flex, 22 points. Not mad about it at all.
And
Was
he-
pretty happy with that.
You were texting me that morning like, hey, who should I put in here? And I was like, yeah, Murray will get you some goal line touch. I had no clue he was going to break
Yeah.
away like he did.
I was pretty thrilled. So
All right, so now we got the player this week you should start on your bench. And I love going back every week and seeing that guy.
apparently
we try
it's
to
a
play.
theme
Yeah, going.
for yours here.
So I'm going to start off. Hey, Stumpy. Yo, what's up, man? Or Auto Pick is your new name. Start Aaron Rodgers. Like, he went off.
I know.
And Goff, who I know you were trying to trust, I mean, he was like double up Goff score there, and that could have been a difference maker for you on your team. Start Aaron Rodgers.
As a man of the people, I have to agree with what he's saying. I want what's best for you, and I think that Aaron Rodgers is the
Yeah, I don't know what
better
the
player.
thought process there and a bigger blow offense there with the Rams, but you never
Ain't nobody
doubt
knows
Aaron
what you're
Rodgers.
thinking, bro.
I'm trying to think of it as I'm looking
We'll
through
take
every
him. I
week.
mean, you want to trade him? I'll take Aaron
We'll
Rodgers.
take it. Yeah, I'll say I'll trade with you.
No.
All right, Sean, what's yours?
So Marlon Mack, I already talked about it a little bit, but I'm not calling you out here, Morgan. You're in some serious RB trouble here. You lost Freeman here. I'd say spend some money on Mack and put him in your lineup. He's worth starting this week. So
Yep. And Morgan, you had a bad week last week with like injuries and guys that were out like after the first play, or guys who were injured and you didn't know. But you scored pretty low last week, man. 60 points or something like that.
yeah, get it together,
So
man.
let's get it together. Ryan, you got anybody for a player we should pick up and start?
No, but I do have the
bench?
kicker.
Oh yes,
Ooh.
we got the
Yes,
special
Ryan.
segment here. We finally convinced him to let us
Kicker whisperer.
The
let us
kicker
in on
whisperer.
his secrets of the kisser,
kisser.
the kicker whisperer.
That's part of it. He has
Yeah.
to be a good kisser.
Yeah,
Let me tell you guys.
How do you get those notes?
Yeah,
I think that this guy's an excellent kicker.
Go.
Adam Vinatieri this week.
Hall of Famer. That's a Hall of Fame kicker. Pick up Vinatieri. if
Okay,
he's not
here's the reasoning. Obviously, it's pretty simple, but like the Colts are going to get him down within range. The Buffalo's got a competent defense. They're going to make sure Adam gets his long shots every once in a while. Also, the mind games are huge. Psychology is everything.
That's Mr. Crosby.
With kickers. You see kickers that have never missed a field goal. They always starting to start missing them, right?
There's 5 in a game.
And you can see it on their stupid faces when they're going to miss.
You admit they're stupid.
Adam Vinatieri, he's been through all his
terrible.
young man games. He's done. He's got his mental game figured out. Adam Vinatieri is the kicker of the week. That's my pick.
All right. I like that whisperer.
Yes.
All right, so we got a fun little segment here. I thought it'd be fun to go through and take a survey of the league. We're gonna talk about who gets rooted for the most. So against, for. You surprised where you're at, or you?
Not really. I mean, when
I'm
you're
a little pissed, guys. I'm not gonna lie. What the heck?
when you're a 2-time champ, I thought I would find myself at the bottom, but the number one on this list that everyone voted for, it's like surprised me, but at the same time, like what? But do you want to go down the list here?
Man. Yeah, I'll just go down the list real quick, and then we can kind of discuss what we think of it. But at the top with 32 of the vote, we had David. Second, we had Morgan.
So David's the most liked.
He's the most liked. If you're watching a fantasy game and he's playing anyone else, you're probably rooting for David unless it's yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Second was Morgan. I think that's a pity one. We just kind of feel bad for the man. So Then we got Daniel. I know this one for me. I've rooted for him in so many Super Bowls against Phil that he has my undying love now towards anyone. It's like you beat Phil twice, or no, he beat him once, but
my ex-rival.
Yeah,
turned lover.
turned lover. Joe, I think he's just kind of that guy that nobody really knows.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Nice Guy. He had 25. I had 23 right in the middle. It's about where I thought I would be.
They love you, they hate you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tim at number 6.
More hated.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be lower on the list, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe he made a push for the
I wonder what Ryan rated him on the form. Is there a negative?
And then we got our my podcast buddies here at 7 and 8 here, 21 and
guys,
19.
what in the heck?
I just want to note that I'm above Ryan. I'm at 7, which I'm totally fine with.
Change the name there, Man of the People. It doesn't seem like the people are on your side.
No,
man, I am for the people, guys. I want to do what's best for you guys. I don't know what the crap. I'm almost the most hated. I'm the third most hated.
And then 9 and 10, who do we got here?
So last minute, Andy and Joe got their votes in. Otherwise, Ryan was the most hated person in the league. But Andy took care of that, and he's at the bottom with Phil right behind him. I think we can agree that we've
Phil
had
at 9, Andy at 10. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had our issues with, Phil's the Patriots of the league. He's always dominant. He finds his ways to bend the rules. Nobody wants to root for the man.
When you name your team Boston Massacre,
and then Andy came
after what happened, that's just wrong.
Yeah. Then Andy came in strong. First draft is drafting defenses up in the 10th round, saying, "I know what I'm doing. I win my championship every year." So I think that's kind of got on people's bad sides.
There's probably everyone is like, if there's one person I can't lose to, it's a Muffin Hunter or Denver Stumps.
Auto drafter. So Andy,
I don't know, Andy. I don't know. That's just weird.
You guys, you root for him.
Well, I don't.
He did put a note in there too. The reason Ryan got boosted up was because he said Donathan's number one fan.
Yes. Well, I'm not surprised by Reverend David being at 1. I mean, it was kind of shocked that everybody thought that way.
Why am I number 8?
I don't know. I understand why you're number 8.
Just because I'm
completely.
You got a 1 from me. I'll guarantee you that.
Now, I think Tim should be higher on the list because it makes me laugh every time he goes after Ryan in the group chats. But maybe we're just kind of like, when you're like fear, you always flip at the bottom 5 is like people fear you until you get to number 9 and 8, 9, 10. And that's where I understand where Phil's at. Like he's not likable because he's also got the most stacked team.
Take it as a
compliment. But you have a conspiracy theory of your own here.
What's that?
That these were affected by recent weddings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Phil would be the most hated, but they were in his wedding, so they're like,
oh, that's true. Yeah.
Whatever.
David was the best man in that wedding.
I did notice some high votes from the groomsmen there. So
there we go.
Oh man, come on!
I think I gave Phil like a 3 or a 4. I can't remember.
A 4 is high.
That's I had to be nice to him.
All right, so I think that's it for this week. But we got a little bit of breaking news here. Exciting. Ryan's been at work. Finding us somebody for next week. We got a real special guest coming on. Tell us a little bit about the guy you're bringing on for us.
Yeah, big Jake Seeley is one of the most accurate fantasy analysts, and we're super excited to have him on the show. He's super humble, really nice guy, and he was like, I'll come hang out. So next week we'll have Jake Seeley on the show with us.
It's a big deal. If you go Google him up, look at read his stuff. I mean, he's one of the highest rated for a reason.
Yeah.
So when Sean and I heard it, like he mentioned, like it was some off like comment, we're like, what?
Yeah.
Are
So tell
like,
your friends and tell everybody. You know, next week's the week to listen. Like we're gonna try to push it hard. We want everybody to get a taste of Jake Seeley. So
I'm almost afraid that after that episode, they're like, why do we listen to the other three? And like our viewership just drops.
Not to mention
from 20 to 15.
the episode after when we have to follow up that fantasy analysis.
Maybe it makes us better. I don't know.
Last year, before I forget, we're gonna check in with Tim and get his injury update. So let's do that.
To the doctor.
All right, so we got Tim here, injury, week 6. This is a regular thing now. Let's get right into it. Not as crazy of a week as last week.
Yeah,
but
toned down a little bit after this last week, or maybe this more people are not as relevant.
Yeah.
I'll get into that in a second. But looking at it from the top, Josh Allen, the only quarterback on my list this week, looked like he had some sort of elbow sprain. Didn't give a whole lot of information about that. My guess is a UCL. That's usually the most involved for a thrower.
UCL. I've heard of an MCL, ACL. What's
UCL.
the UCL?
UCL is the ulnar collateral ligament. It's in the elbow. It's on the inside. It goes on under the most amount of tension when a quarterback or thrower is about to throw the ball. So when they come all the way back, it's that inside ligament.
See, this man knows what he's talking about.
Inside the elbow. And he actually saw Dr. Andrews, who is a renowned surgeon, especially for professional athletes. He's saying he doesn't need surgery. That's good news. The reports that I'm seeing are 2 to 3 weeks out. That obviously affects mostly the defenses that are playing against the Bills because obviously I think you guys talked about it. Nathan Peterman is a turnover machine.
Yep.
So I guess start the Colts.
Yeah.
It's a little suspect to me with how bad the Colts are, but who knows. Next one on my list, maybe shouldn't even be on my list, is Amari Cooper. He may end up on the waivers not far from now. He's been diagnosed with a concussion. He'll have an extra week coming back off of the bye. The question there is really, is he worth a roster spot? And at this point, who knows?
Yeah.
Next one on the list, Anunwa. He's still dealing with an ankle injury. They haven't been very definitive with what his condition's going on. It seems to be bothering him, is obviously limiting him. I would hold him out of your roster until he's able to put together a complete game.
Yeah, he's probably more important for Curse, was a pickup I talked about this week. So.
Yeah, so I think that would be a good pickup. I would not put Anunwa in any lineup until you see him back for a full week. And unfortunately, you may miss out on a productive week from him, but I really wouldn't trust him until he's back.
Yeah.
Next one on my list is Evan Ingram.
Is this the week?
This could be the week. It's tough to say with the MCLs. I'd keep track on this. It looks like he's been practicing pretty close to full speed. Whether or not you want to trust him with Eli Manning at quarterback, that's a whole other argument. But
O.J. Howard looked pretty good. That was the same similar injury?
Yeah,
something?
similar injury. He was a pretty surprise start this last week. I would trust him a little bit more than the Evan Ingram coming back.
Okay.
I know in our league, O.J. Howard's on the waivers and available. Again, we were predicting 2 to 4 weeks with that, and typically with an MCL, it's what you see. But, obviously O.J. Howard came back, and I think Evan Ingram will make it back this week.
Okay.
And from the tight end position, they don't do a lot of downfield running. They don't do a lot of heavy cutting, so he may be more productive than we would expect him. The two that we always talk about regarding hamstrings are Leonard Fournette and Dalvin Cook. If I had to choose between the two, I would really go with Dalvin Cook. I mean, I like the way that Dalvin Cook has been treated. They've been holding him out. They've been regulating his snaps a little bit more. Long term, I think Dalvin Cook is a better option. Again, I'd be a little hesitant until he puts in a full week. Obviously, you want to hit him when he comes back into the lineup. He was a surprise inactive this last week. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back on a snap count until he really proves that he can handle the workload.
Yep.
Leonard Fournette, we really question, is he trustable at this point? So he's coming back maybe week 7, maybe not.
Yeah.
So if he does play, is he ready? And is he going to play a full game? Those are the questions you have to look for. Again,
they should just wait till his bye. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they're pushing him back so heavily. I mean, they weren't very good last week against Dallas anyway. I don't think that was TJ Yeldon's fault. He put in a productive game. So the question for Leonard Fournette is he going to be trustable when he comes back? And he is definitely a guy that I would want to see handle a full week of practice, hit a game, play a full game. You may miss out on points, but honestly, is he trustable? Is he going to play a full game before re-injuring himself? So that's something you have to consider. Another hamstring guy is Will Fuller. He came back this last week playing.
I think this is going to be all year.
Yeah, I mean, was his game the result of his hamstring, or was it a result of that offense just being downright terrible? You know, I had Deshaun Watson. He put up a solid 5 points for me. But I don't think that was necessarily his, the offensive fault. Or maybe it was the offense as a whole, but not any individual component of that. The most recent report I've seen on T.Y. Hilton is that he's still going to be in the questionable to doubtful range. It seems like the hamstring is going to be more of a limitation than the rib injury.
Okay.
I'd like to see him put in a full week of practice, not even limited, before he comes back, full week. We've already talked about O.J. Howard. Surprise update today is that Devontae Freeman's officially on the injured reserve.
On IR.
So that's a big deal for Tevin Coleman and Ito Smith.
Yeah, announcement, Morgan. He's on IR.
Yeah, so maybe don't include him in your lineup this week. The next one I have is Cooper Kupp. He had a horse collar tackle him on the sideline. Looked like something that happened to Le'Veon Bell a couple years ago. MCL sprain. He did try to come back, even if it was
carted
just
off.
one
I can't
play.
believe he got back.
Yeah, so I was pretty surprised to see him come back out last week. I know it was only a play, but that's at least a little bit encouraging. Like, he wanted to give it a shot. Again, we talk about MCLs being 2 to 4 weeks, typically. Depends on the severity of the sprain. I wouldn't be surprised to see him miss just 1 week, but
Okay.
I think that makes a big boost for Cook and for
Woods.
for Robert Woods. So hopefully they're able to increase their output a little bit more. Another surprising one this week for me was Matt Breida.
That's crazy.
A high ankle sprain, you typically think of a several week ordeal. He played, and he put in a touchdown. He still had 12 points. That was surprising to me. I left him on the bench. I didn't expect to see him, especially not trusting him for a Monday night matchup. He is going to be in and out of the lineup, I think, for the next couple weeks until he's able to sort this out. I almost wish they would rest him to give him a chance to get him back healthy.
Yeah.
But he seems content on pushing through everything else. The surprise there in that game was obviously Alfred Morris only getting one snap, much less no touches. So that'll be interesting to watch that backfield develop over the next couple weeks and see what happens there. And the last guy I have on my list is Chris Thompson. There in Washington. He's trending in the right direction. He definitely affects AP's value.
Yeah.
When he comes back, I look for him to be, a positive force in that offense, especially in the passing game. So we'll see how that goes. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to send me a text. If you have a game time decision, let me know. Happy to answer those questions for you.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, Dr. James. Let's go with... All right, so outro here. Next episode, say it again. Listen up. We got Jake Seeley's going to be in the house. He's going to be...
I think he was the 2017 #1 most accurate ranker, so he's making us legit next week. Listen up.
Please listen there. He will make you better in your fantasy knowledge. And then we're going to recap everything else. You might see about similar stuff from this week's episode into next week's. And let us know, like Lydia James did, we might put a segment in for you.
Yeah, give us some feedback.
Yep.
Ryan?
Send us out.
Like and subscribe, and I don't know. Our views are still a little low, so I'm just not sensing the enthusiasm really. So if you like it, for Pete's sake, share it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just share with your friends, and
that'll
if they're
work.
into fantasy, I just want to see some I want you to take initiative on this. You know what I'm saying?
This is how we're losing viewers.
Oh, all right. Maybe we should go with just like, subscribe, thumbs up. See you next week.
Deuces.